Okay, starting fresh. When I think of the whole idea of starting fresh, as Michael mentioned, we're starting a new year. We're in January. A lot of people want to start something new for the new year, do things different than what they've done, maybe get a different result than what they've received in the past. In my life, way back in the early part of high school, first 2 years of high school, I thought that I was limited in what I could do in my life because of what other people expected from me. Because in my mind, well, let me backtrack this just a little bit. Okay. When I was going through school, I was extremely shy. I was very much an introvert. I very rarely spoke unless someone had actually asked me a question and asked me to speak up. And this is not one of those common things that you hear where parents tell their children are meant to be seen and not heard. That's not the message that I got from my parents. In fact, there were many times my parents tried to get me to talk more than what I was doing. And so talking was encouraged, but I still felt inhibited in various ways. And so I was a very shy, non-talkative person for most of my life. But in the early part of high school, I recognized that that was a problem. I recognized that I needed to change. I needed to be more outgoing. I needed to be more confident and put myself out there in different ways. And there were quite a number of times when I'd be at home, I'd be in my room, I'd finish my schoolwork, and I'm thinking ahead for the next day, and I get it in my head that, okay, tomorrow I'm going to be different. Tomorrow I'm going to be more confident. I'm going to be more outgoing. I'm going to change who I am, and I'm going to start this tomorrow. And of course, you probably already know where this is going, because the next day I get up, I go to school, and I start thinking about stepping out and being more confident and outgoing. And then the thought runs through my head, they know you as the quiet person. If you start suddenly being the outgoing, charismatic type, they're going to say, what in the world is up with you? What's going on? And so the fear of being judged kept me in my shell. And I thought that in order for me to truly change who I was, I needed a complete fresh start. I needed to go to a school where nobody knew me, and then I could be different. Well, I got the opportunity because midway through high school, my dad got transferred from one office to another in his work. He worked for the railroad. We were in Southern Illinois when I grew up. He got moved into Central Illinois, so we moved up there. And then I thought, okay, this is my opportunity. I can actually do this now. And then I get there, and it's a bigger school than I'm used to. And everything is unfamiliar, and I'm so focused on, okay, where do I need to be? Where is that classroom again? And I'm so focused on getting everything else. I'm still falling on my old patterns. I'm still quiet. I'm still reserved. I'm still within my own shell. And then it took a week or two before I finally got comfortable where everything was. And then at that point, those same thoughts came up again. They already know you as the quiet person. If you try to be more outgoing, they're going to wonder what's going on. So I got locked by my own fears of rejection. Well, to try to cut this story as short as I can, let's just say that I had the opportunity to move and have a complete fresh start many different times in my life. There was a period of about, how many years was that? There was a period of about 7 years that I moved 9 times. And so I was quite often in a new situation, in a new job, in a new environment, in a new neighborhood. And every single time I was still the same person. And so I eventually learned that if we're going to make a fresh start, it's not about the environment. It's not about the people that we're around. And probably the best example of what I'm getting at here comes from about a year and a half ago. And I had already gotten past some of that before this point, but I was still, most of you probably still know me as a little bit quieter than most. And that's okay. That's just who I've been. But a year and a half ago, okay, July 2021, and Linda had joined a band about 8-9 months before that point. I was running the sound for the band. I was also taking pictures, doing video, helping out, trying to do what I can while they were performing. Well, in July, one of the cats that we had passed away. She had been sick for several weeks, and I had been spending a lot of time trying to nurse her through it, and of course it didn't work. And she passed on a Wednesday, and the Tuesday before was a major gig. The band had played at Meyer Gardens, and the Thursday after, they were playing at a different park at an outdoor gig. And I had made the decision at that time that on that Thursday gig, I was just going to do the bare minimum that I had to. I'd get the sound working for the band, and then I would just forget about the cameras, forget about pictures and video, and just be there. And we get there. It's a nice sunny day for the most part. We did have just a sprinkle of rain for a little bit, but that was quick. They had a nice big dance floor in front of the stage. A lot of people were dancing through the first set, but they were doing a lot of line dances. And it's like, this is 60s music. Okay, line dances are okay, but some of it's not really all that appropriate. And then a song came up, one that I truly enjoy, California Sun. And what was going through my mind, because at the point the song came up, there weren't too many people on the dance floor. And I'm thinking, I'm not going to let them line dance to this. I'm going to get out there and dance it the way it's supposed to be danced. And the only way that I was able to do that was to turn off my conscious mind, to say, okay, I got to get out of my head. We always hear that phrase, dance like nobody's looking. And even though there was a huge audience, I had to completely ignore the audience and say, I don't care what anybody thinks. I'm going to do this. And I got out there and I danced. And when the song was over, I think Kristen, one of the lead singers, mentioned something. I don't remember her exact words, but it was something along the lines of, I'm glad I knew the words to that song because I almost lost it. Because I had completely surprised everyone in the band with how I was dancing. And in my mind, I'm not that great of a dancer. I moved to the music. I don't really know the proper way of dancing. Linda and I took dance lessons for a year. None of it stuck with me. But I was out there and I was moving to the music and I was energetic. And for the rest of that performance, I was doing the same thing. I was dancing every chance I possibly could. Well, that completely showed a completely different side of me to the band. And they liked what they saw. I wasn't expecting that. And so they roped me into doing this routine with one of the other guys. They do a Blues Brothers routine. So I got roped into doing that. I kept doing that. That had gone on for at least a year. And what is so surprising to me, because after doing that for a period of months, I finally was able to get comfortable with the fact that I was doing it. And I finally got comfortable with the fact that people were coming up to me every once in a while and saying, I really like to watch you dance. And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, it's nothing all that special, but okay, thank you. Of course, I wouldn't really say that it wasn't all that special because I understand how to respond to compliments. Thank you. I appreciate that. I might add in something about the only way I can do that is turn off my brain and just let my body move to the music. That's about all that I'll say. But the idea here is that when we truly want to make a fresh start, we have to ignore what other people might think. We have to just simply connect with who we are on an inner level and let it loose. And when we let loose our true, authentic self, I believe that in every case, we get the same type of response. People appreciate what we do. if your authentic self is the type of person who goes up and hugs everybody, that's who you should be. As I'm saying this, I'm remembering there is someone who's called the hugging saint, and that's her thing. She goes around hugging people, and she's famous for it, and people love it. I think when we truly make contact with who we are on an inner level and just let that flow forward, we are expressing our true mission on this planet. And when we do that, it is always in harmony with the people around us, and we always lighten the load of everyone that we meet. And that's the thing that I truly want to encourage all of us to do, is to be your authentic self. Forget what anybody else might think of you and just let it loose. Now, I also realize, and one of the reasons why the description of the talk was what it was, over the last year, I have been making another type of fresh start in my life. For the first 20 years of my online business, I've been teaching people how to manifest their desires into reality. I've been teaching people how to go within, how to connect with their inner divine essence, how to imagine what they want in rich, vivid detail, as if they're right in the middle of it and it's happening right here, right now, all around you. To feel it, to see it, to hear it as if it is actually happening. And then to decide, to choose to believe that it is now going to be your reality. And that has been what I've taught for 20 years. And last year, my intention was to write a new course that would go beyond manifesting, that would go into mastering life in all of its various phases. And one of the things that I knew was going to be truly important for this course is to not just teach by the written word, but to also do whatever I could to give a visceral experience that would shift what goes on inside of ourselves. As Linda said, our subconscious mind holds on to complexes and patterns of the past, and we need to eliminate a lot of that baggage before we truly do feel free to just be ourselves. And so, because I recognized the importance of going within and making those changes, I went on my own educational journey to update and refresh and expand my knowledge of hypnosis. It's a topic that I've always been interested in. It's a topic that I've learned a lot about over the years, but it was a topic that I felt I needed to know more. And so in what I learned last year, I learned specific processes that are used in hypnotherapy to help people get rid of phobias, to change habits, to do all sorts of wonderful things in a very short period of time. Those are techniques that I didn't know before. One of the other things that was really surprising in that was that a lot of the top people who were teaching how to do hypnosis would describe it the same way that I describe manifesting. It's about relaxing. It's about directing your attention. It's about creating expectation and trusting that what you have imagined within yourself is actually happening or will actually happen. To create expectation that what you want to happen will actually happen. That is the essence of what hypnosis is. And when I recognized that the core of hypnosis and the core of manifesting are essentially the same process, just used for different purposes, I recognized that all the work that I had been doing to learn and teach manifesting had prepared me to do the same thing in a hypnotic context. So one of the things that I've started doing is creating hypnotic recordings, and this is part of my process to finish my training as a hypnotist, to do it live in person without a script, which is what we're going to be doing here tonight. And one of the processes that I learned is something that I've seen over and over and over again. In fact, I've led a few people through this process. And it's all about releasing the baggage of the past. And I've seen this process do amazing things. And it's just incredible what can be done if you just simply get rid of your connection, your association, the binds and limitations that you have carried over from the past through a hypnotic process. Because when you do go deep within yourself and you connect with your inner essence and work from there, amazing things do happen. So that's what I would like to lead everyone through tonight. And so if you're ready, if you would like to experience this letting go of the past, then I suggest you just make yourself comfortable. And if you need to do any kind of adjustments, if you need to get a drink, if you need to do anything else, and if you want to turn off the camera so you can loosen clothing or whatever to get comfortable, that's okay too. And then for right now, just focus on your breathing and let your body relax. And one way that you can relax your body is, at least one thing that works for me, is tighten up the muscles and then just release that. And as you release those muscles, you can imagine that releasing and relaxing, continuing further and further, letting the body just go limp, loose, and relaxed. And then again, as the body is relaxing, you can turn your attention to the breathing. Take a nice, slow, deep breath. And then do this a few times. And as you are breathing in, imagine that you're bringing in fresh, clean air, clean, vibrant energy. And as you breathe out, imagine that you're releasing all tension, all stress, all worry, all doubt, all frustration, any and all negative things. Just imagine that with each breath in, you're bringing in fresh, clean energy. And with each breath out, you are releasing everything you no longer need. And as you relax your body and relax your mind, we can turn our attention inward and focus ourselves on the inner space, letting the outer world fade away. And as we collect ourselves in a space in our imagination, we can remember a time when we felt totally relaxed, feeling wonderful, and focused on the moment. And there are many times that we go into a natural hypnotic trance. Times like when we're deeply engaged in watching a good movie or reading a good book. When we're having a deeply enjoyable experience, maybe getting a nice relaxing massage, sitting by the beach, sitting in front of a fire, just completely absorbed by an experience. So much so that thoughts just cease to exist and we're lost in the moment. And maybe there have been times when you find that your mind just goes blank and you lose track of what you were doing. And these are times when you have entered into your own natural hypnotic trance. And even though you may not consciously know how to go into your own deep and profound hypnotic trance, you don't need to know consciously, because it is your subconscious mind that controls the process. And so on a conscious level, there's really nothing you need to do except sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride as your powerful subconscious mind takes you into an inner space within yourself where deep and powerful changes can be made easily. And as you continue to release and relax any tension in your body and focus your mind on the inner space within yourself, you may notice certain sensations in your mind or body. Maybe there's a slight tingle in a toe or a finger. Or maybe you just simply lose track of where your left arm was a moment ago. But whatever goes on in the process is part of your process. And it's all okay as you just simply release, relax, and go within. And allow your subconscious mind to carry you into a powerful, magical place within yourself. And without attempting to control the process, just let an image spring forward from your subconscious mind, an image of a place where you can truly relax and release and allow changes to happen. And when you feel that you are getting close to connecting with your inner divine self, you may notice a sense of peace, a sense of calmness, a sense of joy rising up within you as you connect more deeply to your inner self. And within this space, you can imagine that you are simply floating on a cloud, on a pool of water, on something else, whatever works for you. And you can just let the experience be whatever it is as you empty your mind of all intention, of all preconceived ideas, and just be in this moment as it is. Like the old saying used to go, be here now. And as you focus your mind on this moment, on this experience, it becomes easy to just hand over the control to your subconscious mind, which can now follow the intention that we have set out to do, which is to release all the baggage from the past, to let go of all negativity that may still be carried, that may have been carried before this moment, and just set the intention that you are letting everything go. And your powerful, creative subconscious mind can show this process to you in many different ways, and maybe you see the negativity spreading out around you like a cloud of smoke, drifting off into the distance as it disappears across the horizon. Or maybe you see it oozing out into the ground beneath you, sinking down into the ground where it can be renewed and recycled into something better. Or maybe you see the process like a team of people coming in to clean out the garage for you, or cleaning out the basement or the closets, getting rid of all the old junk that you no longer need, and taking it away because It does not have to be in your space. And what belongs in the past belongs in the past. It is no longer relevant. The past is the past and now is now, and the two are completely different times. And who you were in the past is not the same person that you are now, because you have grown, you have matured, you have learned many things over the course of your life, and you have accomplished many wonderful things in the time that you've been on this earth, and you will continue to accomplish many more wonderful things while you are still here. And you can accomplish far more without the weight of the past holding you back, without the resistance of past expectations, without the consideration of what may have been true in the past, but is no longer true now. Because the past is past, now is now, and we can only move into the future from this point now. And because we are so deeply connected to our inner self in this space, here, now, we can receive guidance from within. We can channel our authentic divine self into our daily lives. And as we clear out more space by releasing all of the old negative stuff, we make room for new stuff to come in, more positive stuff to come in, the divine energies to come in, that divine love, the divine wisdom, and even the divine power to make things happen and to manifest what we would like into reality, to shape our world according to our vision, the vision that was given to us by our divine self. And as we follow the divine wisdom from within and express the authentic self that we were born to be, who we have grown to become now, we can be anyone we want to be. We can live any way we want to live. Just because we did things a certain way for years before is no reason that we would have to do the same thing now. We can choose to be who we want to be, because now is now, and it has no connection to the past other than what we want it to have, other than what we choose to have. And it is now completely possible. And if you need the permission, you have all the permission of your guides, your angels, your masters, the divine self within, the divine Father, Mother, God, the Christ consciousness. We all give you that permission to let go of the past. True, it has given you strength. It has taught you lessons. But you do not need to be limited by what happened before. Because in truth, the only limits are the ones you believe in. And when you can truly believe that everything is unlimited, that you are unlimited, that your possibilities, your potentials, your future is completely 100% unlimited, by choosing to believe in unlimited potential and unlimited experience, you allow yourself to experience this now. And you can carry this forward from this point forward and allow it to be your constant reality, your constant now. And you can always come back into this inner space anytime you want to further release and let go of anything else that you find needs to be released. And you may find that tonight You may have some interesting dreams as your subconscious mind continues this work for you. Because again, there's nothing that you really need to do consciously. And your powerful subconscious mind can do this effortlessly. And as your subconscious, deeper divine mind processes the past to release the negativity, you will find that in the morning, you awaken with more energy. You awaken with a brighter viewpoint. You awaken with enthusiasm to start something new. And at some point you will realize that every moment of every day is a fresh opportunity to start something new. Now is now. It has no connection to the past other than what you decide to have. The past is the past is gone. Now is now. You are now. Love is now. Wisdom is now. Your authentic self is now. And now you are perfect in every way. And with this, I will have you redirect your focus back to your body, the room in which you left it. And as you bring your attention back out into the world that we are sharing, you can bring with you all of the transformations that have occurred, the freedom that you now have, and the unlimited potential that is ahead. And when you are ready, you may open your eyes. And it is wonderful. Welcome back. And so at this point, that's pretty much the end of my presentation. I would open the floor for any comments, feedback about what your experience has been. If you saw anything interesting that you didn't expect. And as always, discussion is encouraged. So thank you for being here. Thank you for having me. Oh, and I guess I should also end with one other thing, this new project that I'm doing with the hypnotic recordings. If you like this session, I have 15 recordings already done on my website. They last generally between 20 and 30 minutes each. They're priced about $20 each, although right now I've got a anniversary special going on. My business is now 21 years old, and so everything's 21% off. So if you go to my website, powerkeyspub.com, that's short for Power Keys Publishing, powerkeyspub.com, you can look around. If there's anything you like to see, feel free to grab a copy for yourself. There's also a free offer on the website that I'm calling the Power Key of the Month Club, where you can get one free recording every month. So there's an opportunity to sign up and get stuff for free. So thank you, and I'll open the floor. Anybody have anything they'd like to share?
Thanks, Alan. That was great, man. I saw you dance too. You're a good dancer, man.
It's not me. It's the inner self that's dancing through me.
Cool, man.
Your inner child, right?
I guess you can call it that. Yep.
That was absolutely phenomenal, Alan. And Linda, I love the Coptic moment. And I know when you started out, Alan, it's like everybody knows it, but everybody needs to be reminded of it. And that's what I liked. It's like bringing it to the forefront again. The ideas of, being yourself, your authentic self. That was great.
And thank you for your comment, because that's something I've heard before. I've got a friend out in California who does his own seminars and workshops. His phrase is, you don't need to learn anything, but occasionally we do need to be reminded.
Exactly. Yes. Great. Like I said, Linda, and I love that Coptic moment. That was perfect.
Thank you, Carol. It was perfect. I needed that Coptic moment. And Alan, thank you. I've been a hypnotherapist for many years, and I appreciate everything you said, and you're learning it.
I kind of felt as I was going through the induction
this
process there that, okay, am I really doing this right? Am I going too fast? There were all those questions. And then I had to tell myself, stop, get my conscious mind out of the way, let the inner mind lead the process. So I had to listen to my own words there.
You did well.
Thank you.
I find myself in this position at this time in my life of knowing I have to remake myself, and I don't know what I want. I've lost track of anything of what I want. I no longer have the same rudders, the same ideas, the same dreams. And I found when you were talking, and Linda also in your part, okay, limitations. I have not put limitations on before, but now I find I have to start over. And I'm 81 years old, and I don't know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know what I want to do. So it's kind of like I really needed you guys tonight.
I've heard that same thing many different times. There are a lot of people who have told me, I know I can manifest anything I want, I just don't know what I want.
Yeah.
Usually the advice that I say is start with what you want to feel, because most of us want to be happy. We want to feel good. And if you start with the feeling, and now I would probably lead them through a process like this to go within, to connect with your inner self, know that you want to feel good in your life. You want to feel like you have a purpose, that you're fulfilling that purpose. And then allow your deeper mind to show you what that looks like. So that's probably what I would recommend at this point. So since you know the process, you know how to direct yourself into that state.
Just got to figure out what I want.
So, Alan, you're the Blues Brothers. You're on a mission from God, right?
I guess so. Hey, Catherine made it.
Catherine
Good
made
to
it.
see you.
Very good. Thank you.
So,
Catherine, I wanted to say thank you for the birthday card.
Oh, you're welcome.
so I am curious. Did anybody experience anything in that session that truly felt significant for them?
I saw a lot of different faces, and some of them were having like cobwebs coming off them, and some were just they weren't my faces, but they were male and female faces of unknown, and
okay.
it was pretty amazing just to see how they were uncovering and changing and vanishing, and it was good.
Okay. Yeah, and that's one of the things that I've learned in this too, is that the person who is guiding the session, the one they normally call the hypnotist, doesn't have to describe what you're going to see. Because by saying that your subconscious mind will show it to you in the appropriate way for you, it gives you the freedom to come up with your own metaphors, your own visions, your own way of representing what's going on inside. So I guess the main question that I would have is that after having experienced that and watching all those faces go by, how has the process changed the way you feel inside? from before we started to now?
I feel calmer. And I have been making some new beginnings in my life, and I know what I'd like to manifest, but getting there is the next step. So
Okay.
I particularly like the part of letting go of the past with the smoke. That really hit with me. I was able to see different things that have happened in my past, nothing major, but it's just things I needed to release. And it was like, yeah, I could just see that gray smoke just leaving and dissipating. And that was a very good visual for me. And I felt like relief and relaxed afterwards. So thank you.
Yep. That's definitely a good response. Yep.
I have a comment.
Yeah, go ahead,
I
Catherine.
just wanted to say, Ellen, that I find your sessions so enlightening, and your voice, I just find it so soothing and relaxing, and I appreciated it so much. The other night, I listened to 3 of them at one time, and I was inspired. I know I was supposed to just listen to one at a time, but I couldn't help myself. But thank you.